Somehow, I don't know how, but we cannot manage to, start on time. So let us get started. I know that people are still on the way, typically Istanbul traffic. So yesterday was quite a good day. We very much, personally, I can speak on my behalf. We appreciated the turnout, not only the turnout, but also the very interactive, participation, both sides, not only from the speakers, but also from the audience. So I'm very much grateful for that. Let us basically, proceed with the program today. We have also very good, very selected, group of speakers, a very fine lineup. So we'll be starting with Lykke. So I'm still having a hard time in pronouncing it. So Lykke is going to be represented by Ishak Kalkavan. He has such a solid background, technically as well as professionally. So what we are basically expecting to hear from Lykke is how they are managing ICOs, and how do they do sort of backtesting, some controls, KYC, as well as AML practices, as well as how do they enable sort of ICO or token financing and token trading on their platform. So afterwards, we'll be able to listen to more practices from also distinguished speakers. But let's give it a start. Ishak Bey.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me here. My name is Ishak Kalkavan. I'm Executive Director of Lykke MTF UK. I'm Head of Customer Support and KYC Operations in the UK. Lykke is a global marketplace on the blockchain. We have multi-signature wallets for increased security. We have a working exchange with market and limit orders available at the moment. We also have margin trading for cryptocurrencies, but it's on the beta stage, so it's only demo accounts and demo money. We support eco-friendly products. Some of our first ICOs were Solar Coin and Tree Coins, and we love blockchain technologies. But then there's the hype. Do you think this is a hype? When we dream, we like to dream big, but the reality is not perfect. So we have technological limitations like the settlement delay. We have scalability issues from limited supply. Market uncertainty may create volatility in digital currency prices. Of course, there's regulation. Requirements for various jurisdictions may affect the future of blockchain technologies. Security issues, we had hacks in the past which lowered the confidence for cryptocurrencies, and it might happen again. And of course, as digital currencies and blockchain is a new technology, it's not well implemented in the education system. So, what can we say about the challenges in digital currency trading? One of the challenges might be the limitations of the blockchain. For example, in a high demand situation, when there's a large mempool size, the settlements may delay, and there might be market gaps. Recently, in the Ethereum boom in June, we heard that some exchanges delayed like 24 to 48 hours for their Ethereum settlements. One other issue might be with the order matching. So you're getting cryptocurrency and digital currency prices from all around the world, and if you get an incorrect price or prices in a volatile situation, it may end up with an incorrect settlement price. This is especially crucial when you are doing margin trading. Digital currencies are also very sensitive to news. So when a country or a leader of a country makes an announcement about their policies regarding Bitcoin or any digital currency, it might affect the price very fast and in a drastic way. We have seen this with Japan, China, and Russia recently. And of course, there is the security issue when there is a problem or a vulnerability in one of the exchanges. It affects all the industry at the same time, and the prices may change very fast, in minutes, maybe even in seconds. Here are some examples. For example, in the Ethereum boom, there has been a crash from $319 to 10 cents in seconds. And some of the pending trades on the order books have been executed automatically, which is not reversible, and a lot of traders lost their investments in the process. And of course, there's always the risk of manipulators creating fake news. This happened again recently. Fake news about Vitalik having an accident and he being dead created a wipeout, and probably manipulators trying to make an easy gain. Coming into ITOs and ICOs, which is the subject of today. We all know about ICOs, and sometimes it's called ITOs, initial token offering. It's basically tokenizing an asset and making it available to everyone. We want to basically tokenize everything we can. Of course, early opportunities in 2013, 2014, and 2015. These are the known ones. And this attracted a lot of people from people from the world to create their own projects and go into ICO. Here are some recent ones, which are around $100 million range and more. And of course, we expect more of them to come to the market in the coming days. Of course, we usually hear about the successful ones, so there are a lot of them we don't hear about. And we hear the reality when there's a news about the successful, because it's well known. When it's well known, then if there is an internal conflict in a company, it becomes the news. We all heard about this news, which created confidence issues to the company and maybe affected their future business. So, how can we create evaluation or a system to say this ICO was successful or wasn't successful? So this is from CoinSchedule website. They have around 235 ICOs in their database. So the red line here represents, I mean, the right side of the red line here represents the companies that gained $1 million or more total capital from the ICO. And at the right side of the green line represents more than 10 million. So if we assume $1 million is successful, then 87%, more than 87% of the ICOs were successful. But if we assume $10 million is successful, which I checked the average, which is $14 million at the moment for all these 235 ICOs. So yeah, it depends how you're looking at the situation. And of course, total capital itself is not enough to evaluate success of an ICO. We also need to look the return of investment since they're listing. There are more limited information regarding this. It's from ICO stats. They have 73 of them available. The right part of the red line represents 200% ROI since their ICO date to 26th of October. And similar to the previous one, the right side of the green line represents 1,000% or more ROI from their tokens. Of course, we are just starting. More ITOs and ICOs are expected in the market. Currently, there are 75 of them active at the moment. This is from Token Market website. And in the next 5 days, there will be 14 of them starting. So October hasn't ended yet, and there are still 14 of them will go into the market. So what may be a realistic approach to evaluate these ICOs? So a general approach may be checking their team, their white paper, their business plan, and their viability. So we start with the team. So what do we know about the team? If you're an investor or if you're a company listing the ICO, it doesn't matter. We need to check the team, their LinkedIn profiles, search them on Google to see their background. And if you're an investor, you might not find a lot of information. There might be pictures and names attached to the ICO. And you need to be sure that they are really attached to that ICO. So a way of detecting this might be checking their, again, their LinkedIn profiles, Twitters, and to see if there's a video of the ICO presenting these people in the team. So it will be a good verification of the team. And of course, the white paper, not a lot of investors try to read the white paper. It's important to see their coin dynamics, what's their innovation, what's their unique product, how is their roadmap, and how are they keeping up with that roadmap. And of course, if we have a question about anything in the white paper, we need to ask them and expect them to communicate with us in a reasonable time. And if they're not responsive, it's not a very good sign, again. And then, of course, we check their business plan to see what is their problem. Is it what is the problem they're solving on their white paper? Is it significant? Is it important? And what kind of solution they offered? Is it in the code stage or is it on paper? Do they have a beta application available anywhere that we can try? So these are also important. And of course, last of all, we check the social media and see what the other possible investors are thinking. Bitcoin Talk Forum is very popular. Some of these Slack and Reddit used to be popular, and some of them getting more popular. And of course, we try to see if these ICOs are active in these forums. Are they answering questions? Are they answering them in a satisfactory manner? Of course, we think blockchain is the future. We told a lot of maybe negative things today, but this is the realistic view of the current situation. There are a lot of ICOs, and there will be a lot of new ICOs coming to the market. of course, recently the market capitalization of the top 10 cryptos skyrocketed. Bitcoin itself is now close to $100 billion. And the ICOs are getting more and more traction. They're raising more money, and probably we'll see a $1 billion maybe ICO in 2018. And that's how it works. I haven't edited any slides about Lykke's KYC procedure here, so maybe after the presentation on the break, if anyone wants to know anything, I can help. So,
where with the question?
Yeah.
Is it working?
Any
Question and answers? Well, there are some. Go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. I need it.
Yes, please.
Okay. Hello again. I just want to ask two questions. One of them is, for a successful ICO, MVP is a must for you or no? You talked about it a little bit, but I just want to learn deeply your idea. And the second one is for marketing of a pre-ICO and ICO. What is the minimum budget that we should spend on it?
Budget and yeah, great question.
MVP is a must or no?
MVP, yeah. I think it's yeah, it's a combination of factors. Yeah, we look for it on the ICOs we are evaluating in Lykke. In terms of budget, so budget is it more for advertising and making your product known to people? Yeah.
For pre-ICO especially.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important, but it's not the most important thing. I think the most important thing is the product they're offering. Is it a unique product? Because if it's a unique product, it advertises itself after a while. People starting talking about it. Of course, a push with the advertising is good, but I think the product and the solution for the problem is more important.
Do you have an idea about the budget that other startups invest in?
I cannot say,
okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no. Thank you.
Thank you.
Many thanks for the presentation, because you also set out the challenges as well as the wonderful advantages of ICO. So I have a question. During your presentation you mentioned there are times that there are some inconsistencies between the price offered and the price of trade. How is this overcome? Is there any way to handle this? And is it like in the regular conventional securities where the trading is realized in nanoseconds and there are so many losses? How do you evaluate the loss in between?
Okay, it's not my specialty, my expertise, but I'll try to answer it anyway. So we have algorithms checking for the price feeds. And if, let's say, one of the prices is off the chart, then we can easily understand that it's a wrong price. But if there are multiple prices that are wrong and we don't know what the price at that moment is, it might happen because sometimes the prices are very different on all exchanges, especially when there is a crisis situation on the blockchain or Bitcoin. And then you might delay it a bit. It's not a nanosecond, the settlements. You might delay it a bit to see the price you want to settle. That might be one of the solutions.
Hey, two questions. First one, Securities and Exchange Commission's classified some ICOs as securities. So if a team just comes up to you, do you give any consultancy or offer any changes in their white paper to overcome this limitation?
Sorry, who?
Security and Exchange Commission
Is
classified
in the US?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
we are not in the US at the
no,
moment.
If the investor is an American citizen, then it applies.
At the moment, we cannot onboard American citizens. We are not in the US yet.
I mean, if the investor of an ICO is an American citizen.
Yeah, we cannot onboard American companies.
Second question is, what type of marketing channels do you use for promoting ICOs?
Promoting ICOs, we have our website. We use Slack, Twitter. We have LinkedIn posts, of course, Facebook. And of course, we have our internal networks. We attend to events, a lot of events. We have a large team in London, Switzerland, United States, Singapore. The team almost goes an event every week, maybe every day. So we try to advertise and introduce our product to everyone.
Thank you very much for the presentation. In order to decide whether invest to an ICO or not, you told that the business plan is important. Is it a must that that token is going to be involved in that business plan? You know, there can be an option that a really good problem and really good solution, but there is no token inside, so the company can again makes an ICO. So is it a must?
So you said there isn't a token they issue?
There is a token, but
they don't sell it.
So they're going to sell, then they are going to get the money, but you are not going to get the equity to the company, you know. So you just get the token.
Yeah.
There can be a case that that token is not involved in the business case of the company, right?
Yes, I think it's possible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So
possible.
is it a must that in order to invest to that token, is it a must that that token involves in the business plan?
I cannot say something specific because there might be some legal issues in different jurisdictions. I'm not an expert on this. I'm not sure if there's a legal requirement for that, but I think what you're offering is possible. Yeah.
Let me add up a few comments here because we have other speakers today. Since ICO, it is a very broad and sophisticated subject. There are many angles, many dimensions, many components and processes with it. And for example, for MVP, perhaps Eyal can help us because I know that he has this experience and he's going to touch upon this very particular issue during his presentation. For budget, Ransu, you can help us with that as well as the other processes. And pricing, Eddie, I believe he's going to talk about the pricing volatilities after ICO, so he can help us with that. So let's leave it there because we have other good presentations today. Thank you very much, Ishak.
Thank you.
Let's give him a hand.
Thank you.